our health agent, and Robbie, our food inspector. Okay, first order of business is the minutes from last Tuesday. So I'm going to switch over.
I'm all set whenever you guys are all set.
Okay,
All right. All right. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes for, what was the date last Tuesday? April 7th.
Yep.
Yeah, April 7th.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. Great. Okay, 7:15, I guess Bruce, or if Esther's here,
Yeah.
coronavirus
Is Esther on
updates?
with us?
No, she's
I
not.
don't see it, so we have 35 or 36 cases. 11 have returned. We're still holding at 11, so there's a fair amount that is still in quarantine and being treated. The number has climbed about 2 to 3 per day. So I feel that, we're still climbing that little peak, and then hopefully we start to see a little decline in it. A lot of it's because of the testing that's now available. So there's more people being tested, so we're seeing more results, especially where in order to take the test, you probably have to show some sort of symptoms. So most of the people that tested are showing positive results. We were able to return all of the seniors back to the stay-at-home advisory. They received Easter meals from Soder and the group that worked with him, as well as Blackstone and Millville. They served 672 meals. Couple of interesting cases today. There was the auto body shop on Pulaski, of which the owner is sick, but after close inspection, found that the owner is at home and not working, which was my biggest fear.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I had to pound on the door until somebody came, and I asked him, I said, is there somebody sick in here? And the guy goes, yeah, the boss, but he's not here. He's gone home. And I said, oh, good. Tell him not to come back.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
But other than that, I mean, if anybody's watching, if you're in the store, look for the little one-way tags on the floors. Try to maintain your social distancing, and pay attention to where people are around you, so that we're trying to maintain that perfect social distancing.
Hey, Bruce, is that all the stores have one-ways, or just a?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
I have been in all the stores, Vinny, and they all have it.
Okay, good.
Walmart,
I haven't been
Target,
shopping until tomorrow or next day, whatever, so. Been over a week, so, okay, thanks. The other thing too is, I guess, Esther doesn't mention it, but somebody asked me, if you take out 36 cases and 11 are recovered, so it's 25 that we have actually in quarantine.
25 that she's tracking along with any of the
Okay,
the people that were in contact.
okay, so people should mention that because they're thinking it's 35 and then there's 11, so it's 47 or 6 rather, but it's actually 11 minus the 35. So, okay, good.
35 minus 11.
Yeah, 35 minus 11, right? Okay. Okay, thank you. I guess we could just move right along, right? Anything else, Bruce?
I mean, I went over and viewed just a little bit of litter in each of the parking lots, but each of the agencies are coming, they're trying to keep up with it. I mean, they did get over to the area by the market basket where you wanted to be sure that, they cleaned over by the McDonald's area, and then over by Staples and down that alley. So,
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit of debris, but I would say that's probably from today.
Okay, that's good because it was pretty heavy. Okay, great. That's great.
I spoke with the reporter from Milford Daily News, They're going to run an article on that. So, we'll get some exposure as to, people try to work with us and not throw stuff out and, look for the barrel or take it home.
Good. Okay, so next thing is Earth Day cleanup updates.
So
Kelly, you wanna
Bruce,
do this?
yeah, the one question I had for Bruce was, I know last year Home Depot gave us these, they're really leaf recycling bags. They were paper bags, paper sacks. And that's what we gave away. And then DPW gave us some Town of Brockton, I want to say, bags that we used up. And I think they were, what were
Yes.
they, yellow or orange or something? I didn't know if we had any of those
I think
left.
they were
We
great.
have
They were
some,
great.
actually, they're green and whatever, but we have 45 bags left. Laura and I went into the little cave under the stairs there and dug them out.
Good.
So there are some, but not a lot. We had a conversation with Tina over there as to, the availability for somebody to pick them up. Maybe she can elaborate a little bit on it, because it is difficult with limited staff over there at the parks. One individual working in DPW is, somewhat a little bit of staffing issues as well to pick it up. So we want to, carefully think about what we're going to do and recommend people to do. I know Don had some fear that people would take the advantage and do a garage or a basement clean and put that out curbside as well. So we'd have we'd have a large issue for the trash company. But
Well, that's why I think it might be a good idea to say, pick up and use your own receptacles. Obviously, if somebody comes across something large, we'll ask, maybe they'll reach out to us and ask what to do with it. And in that case, he did say he would go out and pick up some things on case by case, didn't he?
Yeah, he did say
Yeah.
he was going to do that. I think that should be good. We could probably go around, have Bruce or I go around, look at it and see what's there, make sure it's not abusive. But I think we should use those 45 bags. Somehow we either pick them up at the town center or we pick them up at the DPW. I mean,
I'm just trying to figure out how to get them to the people. Do they come and pick it up at the town hall? Or
yeah, we just maybe have them call in and tell us how many people we're going to pick. You want to give at least 2 bags per person, so that should work,
Yeah, that or drop them.
That'll give us
Just
22
remember-
people, so.
Just remember, people can't come into the town hall, so we'd have to leave them outside.
Correct, yeah.
And then my big fear would be if you leave them outside, that you get the order that takes 7 or 8 bags at a time.
Yeah, well, maybe we have to put a sign there, 2 per person, that's it.
You know how people read signs, Vinny.
I know.
Well, I think we could, we can deliver the bags. We can drop them off at their homes, put them in their mailbox or
That would
something
work,
like
yeah.
that. And I had said to Kelly, we ordered the T-shirts. We can bring them a couple bags and a T-shirt, and that way we know.
Well, the T-shirts aren't going to be ready yet.
I don't know. I mean, we
T-shirts aren't going to be ready until May.
Oh, till May.
Okay, well, people
That's
take
why
a
I was
picture. Do it that way, Trish. I like your idea. Put 2 bags, or in a box, or stick it on the mailbox or something like that. And when they take a picture of themselves with the bags full, we'll make sure they get a T-shirt,
Yeah, we can do that.
I
Whatever.
think that works,
Or
I don't
you know
think we
what?
should
We
put 'em in
can
the
just
mailbox.
wait until we can just have people, get out there and clean themselves, and then in May try to revisit this again when we have the T-shirts.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
but I
call
think
it
we
our Earth Day in May.
okay. Yeah, but I think people call in, we get the number of bags, they need per house, say 2 per household or 4. There's 2 people.
Either way, I'm fine with whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
I don't think
I have
we're
no-
allowed to use the mailboxes, though. I think that's a federal offense to put them in a mailbox. But maybe
Put it
hang
behind
a
it, like.
flag or something on the mailbox or something.
Normally, what the Boy Scouts have done is they just hang them on the flag or put them between like the flag and
Okay.
the mailbox.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So Tricia, do you want to do the Facebook post?
Yeah, if we get, I mean, we gotta promote this big time to get some
Yeah.
through the Facebook, and then maybe.
Yeah,
with
so I
Bellingham-
can do it. I just wanna, I don't know if we still, do we know exactly what we're doing yet?
Yep, we're picking up trash.
We're gonna do the bag.
Yeah, we're gonna do the bags.
Please pick up the trash.
If
Do we
you, if you
wanna
want,
pick
if
a
you,
week
if you need
or-
any bags, message us or call us. We'll
Right.
drop off 2 bags per picker.
Per house or
Yeah,
per
Yeah.
picker?
well, per
House.
picker, yeah.
Perfect.
And
That's-
then-
Bag
Picker?
or trash
What kind of
pickup.
picker?
And then tell them to
Alright,
put it out with their
picker.
household trash.
Yeah, if it's not too big, they could do that. You know, like I don't fill mine up because, you know, I'm one person. So, but you
Yeah,
know,
but some people overflow,
some
so.
people, yeah, do get it full. So I think if it's really big, those bags are what, 30 gallon or 50?
The green bags from the ones that say Town of Brockton, they're 45 gallons.
45 gallons. So, I think if you have room for one of those, fine. If not, we'll send pox around to pick them up, I mean, I think we can get away without people let's not emphasize large items like, I didn't want to mention
Tires.
tires and stuff like that because we don't want people putting
Mhm.
all their tires out,
They
Right.
still taking tires at the recycle center?
It's
Once
only
they
open
go
for
back
brush
to
now.
business? Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say when they go back to regular business.
When it
4
goes-
per year per resident.
Yeah.
You can drop off 4 for free per resident, and after that, there's a charge of $5 per tire after your 4 free ones.
Okay. Tina, did they call you guys to find out if they're got 4 coming to them?
No, there's a form that they fill out there, and then that form gets sent over to us. They email it over to us, and then we go through and see if they've already had 4 or not, and then we add it to we charge their account.
Okay.
So they don't actually have a way to check that day to see if people have dropped off televisions or tires. They don't collect money at the recycling center anyway. So
Right.
they just take their information and send it to us, and then if they've already had 4, we bill them.
Okay.
You don't think it would be less confusing and easier to just have them pick the bags up at town hall? We could leave them out, or do you think people, aren't honest enough to just take a couple? Because trying to keep track of that is going to be difficult, of who wants them and who's going to bring them, where you would hope people would be honest and just take what they need.
That's even assuming they even want the bags, right?
Right,
Well, we could
yeah,
have,
they might not
Right.
wanna do this.
Because
so I'm not worried about people taking more bags than what they need.
town hall, we're already, hours are, we're not there that much. Track of everybody that wants bags, and for you guys to have to go drop them off. I mean, that's just a lot more steps.
I agree.
It's true.
I mean, it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. And we can, like I said, we can just encourage people to get out there and then try to redo this again in May.
Oh, a second pickup, or,
Well, if anybody
Yeah.
requests bags, then we'll say something. How about that?
okay,
Maybe not even bring up the bags, but if somebody says, can we get some bags, or messages us for bags, then we can have a procedure.
Mhm.
What is the date that you're trying to still do this? Is it still that same weekend so I can put it in the minutes? Or I know you were talking
It's
about.
from now until the end of quarantine. Everyone's home anyway.
so pick your own day.
No, it's gonna be it's every day.
Pick
Every
your own
day.
day, pick your own trash.
Right.
It should be. Every day should be pickup litter day.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
shame that there's so much out there,
Yeah.
especially now. Which brings up another thing, with all these gloves on the ground, are we going to encourage them to pick them up? They don't have gloves.
Well, they're gonna have to have gloves, I think,
I mean, we have a fair amount under the stairs. I suppose you could, as needed, supply them.
I know, but we have to be stingy with our gloves because we may need them. People will be taking them for the virus and not for trash pickup, and we don't know how long we're gonna need them for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't give those away. Not right now. They're like gold.
Right, right.
And
Okay,
then of course we have to say if there's any needles are found that you have to call the police.
yeah. I guess you could put it in a milk jug, but they don't like that, right? Enough.
No.
Actually, that's
So
what they
I just,
recommend.
I think that's like getting really complicated. I think we should just ask people to get out there, like encourage the, Earth Day. You're looking for something to do, clean up, call it a day, and then try to relive it. Try to re-look at this in May.
That's a good idea. I think we're so used to having
Seems like
already
it seemed like it's
live.
getting so complicated with the gloves, and it seems like it's too much.
Yeah, I think it's because we usually do it on our day and then it's a liability of us. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. So why don't we just encourage people to get out there, pick up in lieu of Earth Day, and then relook at this again in May and do another Earth Day
Official one.
official one. Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
we have the t-shirts then too, so that could make a whole day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we still
A lot.
$33 from Walmart last year, so we can throw that somewhere also.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, I like that idea. So you're gonna
Right.
post it, Trish?
Yeah, I'll post something
Okay.
about cleaning up for Earth Day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is health agent updates. Bruce.
Yeah, we had a few complaints. Nothing outrageous. I mean, I still getting a complaint from Rosewood regarding the neighbor next door. The neighbor next door has not picked up his certified mail, so we're either gonna have to hand deliver it
Yeah,
or go pound on his door, I guess, in order to get him to curb the chickens.
we could get a constable. We have constables in town, so I think it's what, 35? They'll serve them. I don't know.
And then I get a number of people calling, about people congregating, stuff like that. So I usually jump in the truck and get out and threaten them a little,
Okay. The police will move them along too, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm getting pretty.
Yeah.
I dig out the ticket book and they run.
Right, okay, good. Put the fear of it, into them. Okay, so food inspection reports, what do we got?
The only one I did was just Chili's, so I'm going to be doing more. I picked up some of the PPE from Bruce today so that I can safely go into restaurants and just keep an eye on things.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's see. So we got, you want to do the bills for treads?
No,
Are we gonna skip?
Oh, no, that's right. Well,
There's two discussion items.
yeah, essential business policy. Sorry about that. I missed it. Okay, essential business policy. We've been having to revisit this over and over again. I think it's pretty clear. Whatever the governor has listed as essential is the essential business. If you think you qualify, then you got to go to the site, COVID-19, essential businesses, fill out the form. They get approved. They show us something that the state said you're essential, and then we let them open. But there's no other way of really doing it, because we can't make things less enforceable than state law. We can only make them stricter. Well, I can't envision, the essential businesses that are there now. We don't want to close them. Those that are thinking they're essential need to use that website and get it filled up. And we need proof, so we know that they're essential.
I gotta imagine
I
the
think we
governor is gonna be on board soon with more
I
leniency.
think the
I
president
imagine.
and the governor are going to be shortly coming up with changes, and we work with what they have, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, May
But
4th?
you can, I mean, watching the news tonight, I think that's forthcoming fairly soon.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, we're still in the top 10, I think, as far as states that are high, but, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think,
So it's
you know,
May
whoever-
4th, he's scheduled to have a discussion and either continue it or lighten up on it. We'll have to see what happens, yeah. We're not that far away. Today's the 14th.
I know, I know the one, did fill out their paperwork and did send it in, so I'm curious to see what the state does with it and comes back with, so.
Okay. Okay. Is that the one at center of town?
I can imagine how long
Yeah.
the pipeline is, though.
Okay.
Probably by the time they hear about it, it'll be May 4th.
Well, let's assuming they have someone manning that site and going through it. You know, it should be real simple. They look at it from
I
their.
know, but can you imagine how many thousands of people are doing the same thing?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
We don't have much of a choice. What else are you going to do?
no, I agree. I agree.
Okay, so before we do the bills, do we want to throw on Mr. Lambert?
Yeah, that's a good thing why he's sitting there. Mr. Lambert reached out to the chief of police, and I received an email today. He would like to set up a tent roadside stand and be able to sell the personal protection equipment. Mr. Lambert, if you want to elaborate or expand on it a little, what you're going to do and the current license that you hold, so that everybody gets that comfortable feel for what you want to do here and how that can benefit the residents of Bellingham.
Of course, yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So, just a little background. My name's Keith Lambert. I actually do have family that live in Bellingham. My warehouse, my business is in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I do live in Easton, and I'm in a unique business where I have certain supply chains that are not the normal supply chains to access this merchandise. The normal supply chains, as you know, it's not available just about anywhere. So I do different types of importing. I buy closeouts from different companies. I do refusals from like Walmarts and things like that. So I've been able to source hand sanitizers, gloves, and masks. And I've been actually setting up at a couple of different towns offering the merchandise for sale for the people in town. I don't know, I'm sure you're aware that Governor Raimondo had just put a law into place that says that every business has to have, their employees need to wear masks and have gloves. And for every essential business to stay open, now they need to have masks on as customers come in. So they have to give masks to their customers. The problem is there's no supply. No one can get it. And when places do get it, like you might have heard about, I think Medford got a delivery, FEMA scarfed it up and took it from them. It was like 10,000 masks. They just took it and diverted it. So with this unique thing that I'm able to get, I'm offering this merchandise at a very reasonable price. If you look around and see what these prices are, if you go and look at Cisco, they're offering masks for, you can buy a bundle of 50 for $128. That's $2.56 a mask, which I think is very high. I'm selling the mask for $2 a piece, like 3 for $5, $75 for a pack of 50, very reasonable, so that people can actually get these masks and feel safe. And when we do open up, they're going to be able to have these available to them. If you look around at like Walmart and Stop and Shop, and you walk around in these places, 30-40% of the people have masks on. The rest are just walking around and doing whatever they're doing, and they're not protected, and that's not going to help slow the spread. We need stuff like this. So that's where I feel like I come in. I do have the store there. I have the Trump store. It's closed. We haven't opened up since the shutdown. I'm not looking to set anything up inside the store. I have a lease. I'm trying to pay the rent as well, and I've worked out an arrangement with my landlord, Brent Smith. He's like, well, if you can sell the merchandise there, that's great. I did have a conversation with Chief Daigle today. It was a very good conversation, and he seemed very positive about us being able to do this. However, I have to get the Board of Health's approval, because obviously you want to make sure that the steps and the way that I'm offering this merchandise is going to be safe for the citizens that are, in Bellingham. So I forwarded an email to Bruce about from the town of Foxborough that I'd sent them, and their approval to me, basically saying, as long as I keep people, I have these signs up that say, you know, CDC mandates 6 feet apart. I make sure I keep people at 6 feet distances as they come up. If they try to come closer, I spread them out and make sure that they're set 6 feet apart. Everyone that works will have gloves and a mask, and we like sanitize the Lysol in between customers to just make sure to keep them safe. And like I had a lady we had set up. I had several people call me off of our website, like local businesses. There was one lady in town that owned a hair salon, and she was panicking because when it's time to open, she wants to make sure that when the people come in that she can give them a mask. So when she's doing their hair, that they have a mask. But if no one can get this merchandise because it's so hard to get and it keeps getting diverted to hospitals, it's going to be very difficult to open up. So I'm just offering an opportunity for the town to have the people within the town to be able to purchase these merchandise at a fair price. And I also, either way, I'm going to donate them. I'm going to donate some essential PPE to the police department, which I was listening to you talk about the Earth Day. I have no problem donating some gloves to help support that as well. So, you know, if you have any questions on it, please feel free to ask. But that's kind of my plan on what I was looking to do.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan. And like I said, I think that's a fair price. Most people will not be able to afford 75, but whatever. If they're a business, they might, you know, they still probably won't need 75. But
That's
whatever.
that's a better price than what we just bought stuff at.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good price.
It's what I'm able to offer. I don't know if you know John Murray. Owns
I do.
School Pros. I'm very
Yeah.
close with him, and he was like, if they don't let you do it, I'm selling it out of my place. He's like, I'm an essential business. He's just, he was very grateful because I was able to supply him with stuff so that he can give to his employees, you know? And that's what it's about. It's about making sure that the people within the town are protected and that the businesses are able to protect their employees. In just a unique situation, when I was set up, we were in Mansfield. I had a guy come up that is in wildlife protection. He basically comes in your house and handles, you know, if you get an animal in there. And ironically, 2 days before, I had a red squirrel that was stuck in between the floorboards. I heard him chewing down there. So we did a trade, and he couldn't get anything. I mean, imagine him sending people to people's houses to remove animals, and he can't protect his people or the people that are in the house that may be immunocompromised. At least now he was able to get the stuff from me. We kind of worked the trade, so it worked out for both of us. But I'm saying there's many different businesses like that that are benefiting from me offering this type of merchandise.
Yeah. So, Kelly, Trish, have any comments?
I'm just wondering, how are you gonna package these for the people who can't buy a whole piece of them?
I'm sorry, I couldn't see. I don't know if this is something about the bandwidth.
They only buy 3 masks
So what we do is
or 1 mask.
Yep. So what we do is we would prepackage them. As we prepackage them,
You're gonna pack.
I'm sorry, you were kind of cutting out on.
Yeah, your bandwidth is terrible.
Did you hear her? Is it cutting out on her?
Vinny, I think what she was trying to say is, how are you going to distribute these individually? If it's purchased individually, how are you going to safely distribute them because they're in a package for a reason?
Right, I understand. So we pre-pack them. We'll pre-pack them at our warehouse in Pawtucket, and we have. The best thing I found is I found these comic book sleeves that fold over and close. So I pre-pack up, like, you know, the 3 packs, a 10-pack, you know, I pre-pack them like that. And, you know, we Lysol down each mask, you know, and we use gloves when we're doing it. We make it a you know, clean environment to be able to do that.
Could use a quart size, or, you know, we call it a Ziploc bag, but probably those are hard to find now too.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand all the concerns that everyone has, but what is the solution to opening up and for people to feel safe in town is to get the merchandise. And I'm doing it the best way I can, the safest way I can. And if they can't get this stuff, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to open up to do business. If you have to wear a mask to go in a store and you can't get one, how does that person go in a store? It's a very difficult thing. I'm seeing it, and I see people gouging people, and it makes me sick. If you look on Facebook and you look on Craigslist,
Yep.
people are selling the masks in packs of 10 for $40, like $4 a piece.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous how people are taking advantage of that. Now, I know some people that maybe don't know what these should go for come up and say, oh, well, that's expensive. How come you're charging so much? But obviously, you know what they're going for right now.
Yeah,
You
we
know
pay
what they're
more than
going
that. Yeah.
You know, I have a printout of different websites to buy them wholesale. It's between $1 and $1.50 a piece to buy them wholesale. It's just, it's a sad situation, and I'm just trying to offer a solution.
Okay, so,
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question real quick? Jim?
sure, go ahead, James.
So Keith, where are you proposing to place this site? So I'm Jim Cup from the Town Planner Zoning Compliance Officer. I see the building commissioner just signed in. I haven't heard from you at all about where you're looking to site your retail.
So, I mean, I have the store there, the at 260 South Main Street. So I was just going to put it, what we've been doing is just a 10 by 10 pop-up tent with one 6-foot table in front of it. So there's like 3 feet in between us and the table, which gives us close to 6 foot between the customer. And then obviously if they need to, sign for a credit card, we have a stylist that they can sign, and we'll sanitize in between. But I mean, that's kind of what we've been doing. And we've been set up in both, like I said, in Mansfield and in Foxborough with that.
So would you be taking up any parking spaces that are there now?
The way that we would set it up, it wouldn't really, there's really no parking spaces. I don't know if you know the property.
Yeah.
It's a unique property. There's
I'm familiar with that. The old shoe store, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm imagining people are going to park in the back on the side, and we will have the tent up against that curb, which is kind of where the sign is. And I'll have our sign like up against the sign that we currently have now that says Any Rapid Health, and showing what we offer. But I mean, it's one of the things where as soon as someone sees us there, it goes on Facebook, and everyone knows we're there. Now they want to come down and
Right. So that would be my only concern is the lack of parking or the traffic flow there. I would just ask for you to submit something to Tim Icardi, the building commissioner, just to make sure we're squared away with that.
Right. I mean, there's a couple of other sites as well. I mean, he actually suggested another site, which is across from, it's on the Woonsocket line. It's an old car lot. But I'd prefer to stay where I am if I could, because I have to pay rent there, and this is a way for me to pay rent there. And if I'm paying rent at the other site, and I have to pay rent at this site, but again, it has to work for the town as well. So whatever you prefer, we do. I'm open to just making sure everybody is happy with what we do.
Okay, thank you.
So do you want to make a motion, Kelly or Trish, that we write him a letter, and Bruce will get, or Laura will get the letter written up, and then we'll.
So he needs a letter from us before he can get a permit, is that right?
He was told by Daigle to reach out to us, get our blessing on it. And then Jim has asked him to check in with Tim from Building Department. So, I mean, I would recommend to him get a hold of Tim in the morning. He gets in at 7. He can have some input on it as well. I mean, there is some parking there. My big concern would be somebody regulating if it started to get out of hand, that's all.
They're
Can I
probably-
make
But the chief's already
Go
on
ahead,
board with that.
Tim.
Yeah, so is this going to be a separate entity, or is it going to be done under the same name?
I mean, it basically, it's Any Rapid Health is a name. I mean, I have a hawker peddler license, which allows us to set up pretty much anywhere in the state. Obviously, we have to abide by whatever the town bylaws are, but I mean, usually we sell flowers on holidays. We do different things like that. In this particular case, we were just going to use that property because we were already there, and we had the hawker peddler license.
So is it going to be under the same business name is my question.
It could be.
Okay, because you have a business certificate to operate the store. My question, are you going to be coming in for a new business certificate?
I mean, if you want me to come in and register Any Rapid Health, I'd rather keep them separate for obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So the reason why I'm asking is because that gives us the opportunity to regulate you a little bit, safety and stuff. lets us know where you're going to operate when you come in and sign up for another business certificate under another entity. That's all.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. I mean, when you say come in, do you mean like online? Because that's
Well, you're going to have to go online and print a business certificate, and then it'll go through a routing slip process. It'll go to Bruce, myself, Jim will have input on it, you know, making sure that the taxes are current, that kind of thing. And then, you know, I'll talk to you about it and see where you're planning on setting up. It's got to be in a safe spot. I mean, if you're planning on doing it just outside your door, you know, at the existing location, I mean, yes, that's doable as long as it doesn't take up parking and it's safe to do so, you know?
I understand.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve his request, and we'll write a letter stating that the Board of Health is in agreement of having him sell PPEs in South Bellingham.
Thank you.
Okay, I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Okay. So if you
All right,
can,
Keith, give us a shout in the morning and we'll get that wrapped up.
I'm sorry, you broke up there. Who should I call in the morning?
I'm sorry. Yeah, give me a call in the morning. We're in at 7. We do have emergency broadcast from 9 to 10:30, so that's not a good time to check with us, but before 9 or after 10:30.
Yeah, I'll call you first thing, because then if there's anything else I need to do, we can talk one-on-one to kind of go over what needs to be done.
Sure. I mean, if need be, my office is right next to Tim. The two of us can sit on a conference call if you need.
All right, just make sure you're 6 feet apart.
Yes, sir.
it's good.
Thank you.
Are we good?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I look forward to servicing the community.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see. Now we have,
The Threads
Bill?
Unlimited bill, Vinny, is for the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Based on conversation with our you and the other Kelly and Trish, I authorized them because they needed money up front before they make the T-shirts.
okay,
But the invoice and his contractor included in there. He's started work on that. I could probably have Laura check on it to see when the shirts would be available.
Yeah,
But
I think he said
he's
it'd be
got the money and
2
he's already started.
Yeah, she said not until May, right?
Yeah, she said 2 weeks.
Yeah, he said a couple of weeks depending on his staff is, you know, he doesn't have a full staff, so we can't really say right now. But it will be a couple of weeks at least.
That's fine.
Yeah, no rush.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve payment to Threads Unlimited for the Earth Day T-shirts for $800.
All right, I second that.
all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. So, let's
Did we
see.
pass over the backup plan for Milford Hospital overview, or is that just a standard?
Oh, yeah, we did. We got a plan today, Bruce, from you. Was that for backup overflow, or is that something different?
Those were the two the plans that were issued to us for update to the emergency dispensing plans. One was from the state and one was from Jamie's
plan.
group there.
Right, okay. So,
But one of them is pretty intensive there, the 195-page one. I didn't get all the way through that anyway.
yeah. So Trish and Kelly, I think we should look at those plans, not the EDS one. EDS one we'll use in November, should we get to a vaccine situation. I guess the guy at Region 2 went over it, made some changes, maybe just to update it, you know, because it might have said H1N1. He probably put in COVID, whatever. I mean, whatever the virus is, whatever the vaccine is, that should be made current at the time you're using it. That said, the other plan I thought was more of a medical plan. I'm not sure. I still have given something to Louise, and she just wanted to know, like, you know, could we live with it taking 2 or 3 months versus I had said to her, well, can we do it in 3 weeks? No way she can do it in 3 weeks. So that was the comment from her, so. And then we can use, I guess, emergency funds for plan writing, you know. And I don't know, Trish, do you think we're going to need it at this stage? There are now 5 locations hooked up, so whatever.
As far as I'm concerned, these numbers don't seem to be going down at all.
Okay.
And I mean, you hope that they do.
Right.
I think it's still a good plan to have in case we ever run into this again or it comes back full force.
I agree, because the closest one is, I think, let's see, what were they saying? There's Worcester rather. Worcester's the closest for us. The next one's Lowell, Cape Cod, Boston, and I think Andover. So the Worcester one would be a long haul to haul people from this area. And they're gonna cover the greater Worcester area, and we're in southern Worcester. So I don't know how that's gonna happen. And
Yeah,
Landmark
I mean,
will never help.
they're covering a city, so, and I think they only have 260 beds at the DCU
Correct.
Center.
Yeah. So I think we should move along on it. I think it's a good idea. I don't know, should we motion that, or should we just simply get a plan to her and say, give us a cost on the plan, or, you know, an hourly? We just got to get.
We need more
Think about it.
detail before we make a motion on anything, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
okay.
But
Why
I think
would-
we need to have a plan in place,
Right. It just
For
may
the-
take a
for the
little
future.
longer.
not for now, for the future.
Correct. Okay,
We always want to be prepared instead of unprepared, right?
correct. Proactive.
Proactive.
Okay, so
That's
Yes,
everything.
that- anything else, Kel or Trish or Bruce? And
No.
Um,
We have
There
a septic plan here, application, but it's not on the agenda.
oh,
Yeah, no, I was gonna address that one. I had a second here. If you guys are ready, I'll jump into that. We got over the weekend a request for a application for the sewer betterment plan. The Rivets septic is totally shot. They've had Brian Cook and Seth already out there. They've already worked it, and they've started working on an upgrade on it, but she'd like to, get onto the plan and be able to afford to get that in the ground, because right now she's pumping it pretty regularly. So if the board felt that they could move on it, or whether we put it on for next Tuesday.
Well, let's just put it this way. She definitely qualify. They're well within the income
okay,
requirements. Since it's not on the agenda, we can't make a motion, but it's definitely moving forward. We just need to make a motion and put it on the agenda for next Tuesday. We'll have it signed, but let's keep it moving forward is my suggestion.
okay. Bruce, so we have a plan right now?
I don't have the plan in my hands yet.
Okay, so let's put it on for next Tuesday. We'll motion to, next Tuesday to approve it.
And then
So
it's
it's
just,
only another week, and she shouldn't have to pump it every week, I hope.
I'll reach out to Seth and make sure the plan's in my hands, so that if it requires a waiver, that we can do both.
Okay,
like I said,
Sounds
it's not like they're gonna get denied on this because they're well within everything. We just can't make the motion because it's not on our agenda, that's all.
correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of it, and
Yep.
whatever we could do.
Okay.
Okay, so you satisfied everything tonight?
We did. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
all right, I second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. We're adjourned. Thank you,
Good night,
folks.
everybody. Be safe.
Stay safe,
Be
wash
safe.
your hands.